So 301 today, we're talking about some standouts in yesterday's match between Toronto and Florida, game one, and really good game one from Toronto. They started off hot. They ended up getting two goals right out of the gate from William Nylander, and then Morgan Riley got a goal, and then Matthew Nyes eventually got a goal, and I'm missing one in between. It's evading me right now. Chris Tanev, that was the other one. And they got a lot of scoring involved from a lot of their offensive guys, which is really important. I think the most notable offensive guys were Nylander and Matthews. I think Marner was a little bit quiet early on in the game, and same with Tavares. And they ramped it up a little bit throughout the game, but not too much. I think if the Leafs are going to win this series, they need to have all four guys being very productive, and they can't just have two of them going. They need to have all four really going at it on a regular basis, and especially Tavares and Marner. I think Willie started off the series really strong, two goals, one assist, 3 points for him, and then same with Austin Matthews. And Austin Matthews didn't get on the score sheet, but he was creating a lot of shot volume. He was very active in transition, very active carrying the puck and being able to play on his feet and play on his toes. And he looked very assertive out there. I think he was the most assertive player on the Leafs throughout this game. The way he's controlling the puck, the way he's controlling offensive chances, controlling the entries play, and just being able to manage the play and manage the tempo in those situations, which was really good to see out of him. And one of the other more notable guys in this game was Matthew Nyes, who's been, like I said before, I've touched on this briefly. I think he's turned it into more of a core five. I don't think it's a core four anymore. I think it's a core five. I think Matthew Nyes is part of that core. He's a critical component to that core. And without him, it's not the same. So I think he's definitely a component of the so-called core five. I'll call it the core five. It's still called the core four, but I don't believe in that. I just think with Matthew Knies, the way he's been playing, the way he continues to get better, the way he uses his power forward presence out there, he's just turned into a player that's much different than he was originally drafted for. And he's turned into a player, a legit NHL player very quickly too, and a legit NHL power forward presence out there, which is really good to see and really unique to see, and something that's very exciting for the Leafs long term as well. Outside of that, like a lot of their defensemen are very engaged in this game, like Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Chris Tanev had a goal and an assist. He was very active offensively. And you notice more of Tanev as a shutdown defenseman, but I thought this game he was really great offensively. Jake McCabe was active offensively. He had a really nice reverse hit on Dmitry Kulikov early on in the game too. And then Max Pacioretty very active on that line with Nylander. And you just have those wings, those two really work nicely together because Nylander and Pacioretty, they have the ability to up and slow down the tempo when needed. So they really play off each other really well in those situations. And then Morgan Riley was another one who was really noticeable. I really liked his game. I really liked his compete, his battle, his ability to shoot. He had a really nice goal shooting on the far side of the net, shooting on the far side of Bobrovsky and beating him. And just really nice shot, really nice release, really nice use of his hands and his ability to shoot really quickly as well. And then as for Florida, Brad Marchand being Brad Marchand, and like Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk are going to be the three biggest challenges for Toronto in this series by far. I thought Brad Marchand was very effective offensively in this game and showed a lot of flair, a lot of good playmaking finesse, a lot of good plays around the net. Of course, he's very engaged physically. He tries to get you involved and tries to get you to take penalties that you don't want to take. And he did that on Max Domi early on in the game too. I think with Toronto, you just have to try to stay out of it as much as you can. They're gonna annoy you no matter what, but you have to stay out of that. You can't afford to take penalties on a regular basis, especially when it comes to those three guys and you using energy and wasting energy on those three guys. It's not worth it. But with Brad Marchand, Bennett obviously had a bad hit that hurt Stolarz later on in the game, and then to have Matthew Tkachuk, who's being Matthew Tkachuk. We know that. And then I think outside of that, Seth Jones was noticeable in transition up ice, being able to carry the play in the ozone, being able to maneuver across the line, being able to create offensive chances, and just being able to use his speed and use his pace and being able to activate when needed. He's been a critical component for them without Aaron Ekblad, and they spent a majority of the playoffs so far without Aaron Ekblad. So they've needed him to step up and play a lot of big minutes, and he has done that so far. And he's been relied upon to do that a lot of the time. And then Uvis Balinskis, who was a defenseman who's more of a number four, or not number four, no, more of a number five, number six defenseman on this team, but plays more of a two-way game, a steady two-way game, not really active in either facet of the game, more of a defensive-minded defenseman than anything else. and can play a two-way game, can play in transition, can play up ice when needed, but I think he's more of a shutdown-minded defenseman who likes to hold the line and hold plays and hold his stick there. And but he was very effective activating offensively, very active up ice, very active in the O zone, and was just playing very steady overall, which is really good to see. I think if Toronto they want to win game two, they need to hold the lead. They came close to losing the lead, deadly close to losing the lead. So if they want to win game two, they have to obviously maintain this degree of scoring. I think it's going to be a high degree of scoring throughout this series, back and forth, just a lot of pace on both sides. But we'll see how it goes throughout game two. I think we might see a little bit less scoring in game two, and both coaches are probably going to try and emphasize that. But it's been an interesting start to this series from both sides so far.